So, I don't really know what to say in this video, apart from the fact I'm quite pissed off, to be quite honest. So, as you guys would have seen all over everywhere at the minute, news, Twitter, everything is all about the European Super League. And I was going to do a video of a face cam and everything. I really can't be bothered. I'm actually in shock and I'm pissed off that none of this comes down to anything the fans want. It's nothing to do with what the players want, and it's nothing to do with what the managers want. From what I've seen, the two of the managers that have spoke out right now are Arteta and Chelsea's manager. I can't even figure his name. Tuchel. I can't even pronounce these right now. He doesn't seem too bothered by it, I'll be honest. He said he'll support whatever Chelsea stand by. I think that was terrible from him to say personally, and I think he really should be backing the idea of what the fans want, which is to stay in the Premier League. This UEFA Super League is a load of bollocks. Arteta didn't have a clue, and you could tell in the way when they asked the questions, he didn't have a clue what they were going on about. Whether that's because they don't intend to keep him on for it, and they didn't intend to tell him, I don't know. But some other stuff I've read, Arsenal players haven't even been told about it until the announcer would have been broke. They'd have heard probably the same time as us. It's just disgraceful. The fact that these owners of the clubs in Stan Kroenke can think he can put our club forward to something that no one else wants for his own money because he'll get 3.5 billion just to join. It's absolutely fucking disgraceful. And until this gets sorted out, I mean, I can't, I'll be honest, I cannot see this going ahead. Legally, I don't think it's right. Players have signed contracts to play in the Premier League. The Premier League is the best league in the world. It's the most watched league in the world. The people watch the Premier League because they want to. You take the big six out, there's going to be less viewings of the Premier League. It will affect other clubs negatively. It will ruin football for fans. I don't want to watch Arsenal play on a fucking weekday night against Real Madrid in the Super League, where you can't get relegated or promoted, where it doesn't matter if you finish top because it goes to a playoff anyway, similar to how the MLS work, just because our owners don't understand the concept of relegation. Are you taking the piss? Just because they're too thick to understand how football should work. I'm disgusted to be an Arsenal fan right now. And I'm in two minds at the moment. Arsenal aren't... This isn't Arsenal. This isn't Tottenham. This isn't Liverpool. All of us, all of these fans agree. There's no rivalry at the moment. Right now, I hate this is happening. I hate that this is happening to Tottenham. I hate this is happening to Arsenal, Liverpool. They're my rivals. Chelsea, I hate this happening to them. Man City, Man United. This shouldn't be. This isn't them. This is the owners. Specifically, only the owners. The people involved in that owning more than 50% of the club. We need to implement a rule straight after this of where 51% of football teams have got to be owned by fans, similar to how Germany run it. And you cannot have overpriced memberships just to stop stuff like RB Leipzig's ruling happening where they found a loophole. That cannot happen. 51% of clubs should be run by fans so that fans get the final say. It's as simple as that. There's nothing else that should be said on that. This isn't Arsenal, this isn't Liverpool, this isn't Chelsea. This is none of the teams involved. This is their boards and the greed for money. If this goes ahead, I don't think people will support their teams anymore. And I won't support another team because I just can't do that. I'll support England. And even then, these players can be banned from playing in the European competitions, which I actually stand for with UEFA doing that. And don't get me wrong, UEFA are money hungry as well, but at least they're supporting the morals of football at the moment. Let's be honest. Yes, they want money, and yes, Sky Sports charged $15.99 for people to watch games. Yes, that's wrong. But what this is doing right now is ruining and killing football. And I think people need to get this idea of this ever happening out of their head. This is that they're saying they want to give a competition where people are playing the best of the best. That's already a thing. It's the Champions League. And you're putting Arsenal and Tottenham in it. And AC Milan. I'm sorry, but we're shit at the minute. We're a disgraceful club at the minute. We're fighting to stay in the top half of the table, let alone fighting for the Champions League. Like, are they joking me? We're awful at the Tottenham. Haven't won a fucking Premier League trophy. Haven't won a league title in years. Haven't won a trophy in years. The last trophy was the League Cup. And they think they have a right to be in this. Are you joking? It's actually disgraceful. It's actually a disgrace from our clubs. Today, Liverpool play Leeds. I really, really hope, it's not going to happen, but I really, really hope the Liverpool players sit down on the pitch and let Leeds thump them. I hope Jurgen Klopp stands there with a shirt saying, fuck the Super League. And I've heard reports that he's going to walk after today with this announcement. And I hope he does. And I'm pretty sure Liverpool fans hope he does as well. I hope he can get his job back if he wants it back when it goes back to normal. But I don't know how it's going to go back to normal. We're going to be hated forever. Every game there's going to be chants against us. This is unfair on the fans. We're going to be sitting there chanting Kroenke out for every Premier League game ever now. If we play another Premier League game. Apparently, if we want to go back in, we have to go into the 5th tier of football. I personally can't see that happening. I think it's an empty threat, but it's a threat they wanted to make just to see if they can get anyone back in. But I'm waiting for players at the moment to come forward and say stuff. We've had ex-players like Bakary Sagna, Mesut Ozil say stuff. Obviously, Gary Neville, Jamie Carragher, they're all going to be saying their part. But at the moment, the only football that I'm aware of that has come out and said a single thing is Bruno Fernandes. So massive respect to him on saying how, I believe the quote was, dreams should not be bought. And you look at Jose Mourinho, I don't believe he's been sacked. In fact, it says he's been relinquished of his roles or something like that. I don't think he's been sacked. I think he's walked away. The reports are he's refused to train the team. Fabrizio Romano tweeted out otherwise. I refuse to believe it. I don't care. I think they're trying to force me some other agenda. I believe Mourinho, and I don't like Mourinho, but I believe he's done the right thing here. I believe he's come forward and he's said, this is wrong. No. Like, I'm not managing. He's refused to train the team, and therefore he won't be managing Tottenham anymore. And it's clear it's not a sacking because you do not sack a manager that is a trophy-winning manager, no matter how bad you've been in the league. A trophy-winning manager is about to win your first trophy in 13, 14 years, and you're telling me on the week of the fucking cup final you're going to sack him? No, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. It's not a thing. It's greed. Daniel Levy, Kroenke, all the owners of these teams need to be ashamed of themselves, need to somehow be stripped of their ownership to the clubs, which probably is legally impossible, and I don't know how it's going to work on that aspect. But I want Arsenal sold, like, now. I don't... it's disgraceful. It's absolutely disgraceful. If this league goes ahead, I don't know what to say anymore. And sorry, this video is just a rant. It is just going to be audio. If you agree or disagree with anything I've said, please feel free to let me know. I doubt anyone's listening this far anyway, but it is absolutely disgraceful that this has been able to go ahead, and I'm actually ashamed to be an Arsenal fan. I'm refusing to wear anything Arsenal at the moment, and that's massive for me. If you ask anyone that knows me, all I ever wear when I'm chilling around is Arsenal kits. All I ever wear is Arsenal kits. I always wear my shirt with pride. And right now I'm sitting here in an England shirt because I will wear the England shirt of pride. That will be the team I choose to support, even if the Harry Kanes can't play for them, because realistically at the moment they won't be able to. Even if the best players, Trent, who hasn't actually been great, but he's still a massive player, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, not that he's ever been called up, all these players that can no longer play for England, I'll still support England now as my only team, because at this point Arsenal Football Club's not Arsenal anymore. It's Stan Kroenke FC, and at this rate I'd rather the fans just remake the club and we go back to the 5th tier. If we have to go back to the 5th tier of football under Stan Kroenke, I don't want that to happen. I'd rather we make a new team and just call it like AFC Arsenal or some shit. Like, I don't want to be run by Kroenke anymore. It's disgraceful what he's done. It's disgraceful what all these teams have done. And the fact none of them have backed out after any of these threats of not being... They want to play fucking midweek in between the Champions League and the Premier League and the FA Cup. Are they dumb? Are they okay? Do they know how... Because they don't understand relegation. One of them doesn't even understand the offside rule. Ed Woodward should be ashamed. Arsenal, Man United and Liverpool should be ashamed. The biggest teams in English history. Man City, Chelsea. Both teams have won stuff. Both teams have been probably the top, up there with the top two teams since 2000. Champions League winners. The most Premier Leagues won. Are you kidding me? Tottenham, fair enough. They haven't won fuck all. Yeah, they're my rivals. They haven't done anything. But even then, they are considered a Big Six team, and they should also be ashamed. No one wants this. There are going to be riots. I know it. Then this is really not a good time as well with COVID as well. There will be riots. It's as simple as that. Like, I don't know what else to say about this. It's disgraceful. It's absolutely disgraceful. And the fact that PSG have turned it down, as far as I'm aware, is fucking massive from them. The fact that Bayern Munich have apparently turned it down is massive. Dortmund have turned it down is massive. Not that they could have joined anyway, I don't believe, due to the 51% of ownership being with their fans. The only German team that will possibly join will be Leipzig. But the more teams that turn it down, the better. Right now, these clubs need to come out and say something massive, because this can't go ahead. And I don't believe it will go ahead, but it's absolutely disgraceful. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, and Subscribe if you're new. We're trying to hit 5k by June 10th. Peace.